Nope, sorry. This is gonna be a part 2 because I mixed the record button up with the fucking pause button. Bleh. I actually didn't mean to mix them up. I'm a bit salty right now. Hey Joe, let them go.
Hey Joe. Can we blame the public for not trusting COVID experts and the policies they recommend to their respective governments? Certainly not. If a thug goes and breaks into your house, then forces you to take a toxic, mysterious injection while holding a gun to your head, are you going to trust that scumbag? Believe it or not, unfortunately many and they're called sheep. Sheep are led to slaughter because they follow their masters. Sheep do not think for themselves. They think collectively as a herd, and that is their undoing.
25 degrees.
What am I looking? Oh yeah. Oh. Did you find that?
It's not that weird.
Did you find it funny or stupid?
Kinda out there.
Well, yeah, well, they're just trying to make a point, I think.
Yeah. Going a bit far.
Well,
It's where nutritious Canadian oats are made.
Anyway, back to the recording.
What are the obvious examples of Bishop Asser's bias on his book A Life of King Alfred? Asser was a Welsh monk who later became the Bishop of Sherborne. For those who did not, he was greatly admired by Alfred the Great. Asser, likely under orders from Alfred, wrote the only contemporary biography of an Anglo-Saxon king, writing the life of Alfred the Great. One historian has said that it reads like a schoolboy's report written by himself. The book is well known for exaggerating Alfred's achievements, but it is nevertheless probably the best source we have for Alfred's life. It was likely wrote to emphasize Alfred's greatest to the northern Welsh kings, who had recently submitted to Alfred. Here are some examples of Asser's bias toward Alfred. Why his father King Athelwulf chose to take Alfred to Rome on pilgrimage with him instead of his other 4 sons. He also travelled to Rome that year in great state, taking his son Alfred with him, for a second time on the same journey, because he loved him more than his other sons. More of him being the favourite child and his personality. Now, he was greatly loved, more than all his brothers, by his father and mother, indeed, by everybody with a universal and profound love, and he was always brought up in the royal court and nowhere else. As he passed through infancy and boyhood, he was seen to be more comely in appearance than his other brothers, and more pleasing in manner, speech and behaviour. From the cradle onwards, in spite of all the demands of the present life, it has been the desire for wisdom, more than anything else, together with the nobility of his birth, which have characterized the nature of his noble mind. Alfred during a supposed poetry competition between himself and his brothers. Alfred spoke as follows in reply to his mother, forestalling his brothers ahead in years, though not in ability. To put some context to this, Alfred's mother died when he was about 4 years old. Hence this poetry competition was before then. One of his brothers was about 30 years old at the time, ruling the Kingdom of Kent and won the first naval battle in English history against a Viking army. Yet according to Asser, this king didn't exceed 4-year-old Alfred in ability. Alfred also had other older brothers aged about 7-16. Bear in mind that Alfred did not learn to read until he was about 12. Alfred apparently could have easily removed his brother from the throne of Wessex if he wanted to, according to Asser. In the same year, Alfred, who until that time, while his brothers were alive, had been heir apparent, took over the government of the whole kingdom as soon as his brother had died, with the approval of divine will and according to the unanimous wish of all